Hello, guys. So I'm at a ghost town today in Bodie, and well, I came here and I forgot that I talked to spirits, and they're already really starting to they don't annoy me at all, but they do bother me sometimes. So my ears are tickling. I'm getting like a poking in my gut because one of them are saying they were stabbed there. Because when I channel from them, I can feel their pain. So I thought I came here to do my videos, and I might do the other one down the road. But this one reminds me of Kaweah, and I heard Kaweah's story the first week that I started channeling from the dead, and the spirits here are saying that's not fair. This isn't her place. And I'm gonna hear you guys all out, so just give me a second. But right when I said that, the stabbing in my gut stopped. So Kaweah's story. Like I said, it was the first week I started channeling, and I'm down by the river, and it was a blue moon, and I see this spirit, and it was like her whole spirit was black, but it was like iridescent, and she's holding herself like this, crying into her eyes, down by the river, and she had a blanket on, like my mind's eye, like a thick, maybe gray wool blanket. I don't think it was an Indian blanket. I think it was a blanket given to her by the Westerners. And then she had her little moccasins on. And I did not even notice the synchronicities. These were given to me at Burning Man. It's the first time I wore them since. And she's crying down by the river. And I asked her, what's wrong? She said the Jesuits. And I had no idea what that was at the time. I had to go look it up. And I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, the Jesuits. And she's like, I want justice. And I was like, justice for what? She said, the Native Americans used to speak to the truest form of Gaia. They used to speak up for her to the truest form of what Gaia wanted. And Gaia is Earth, Mother Earth. And I do find that to be true. She said she wants justice for the children. The children in the future, her children, her tribe, but the tribe of people. She said the Jesuits came in and slaughtered everyone, and for the ones they did not slaughter. And she's talking about her tribe. She said that they herded them like cattle from their land into smaller and smaller pastures until one day they decided that the pasture they had their cattle on, which she's talking about her people, was still going to be taken from them. And then she told me about the mud bricks. Now, I started channeling from the dead about 2 months ago, so if I get this story wrong, please correct me. This is all from memory. It's a little bit from channeling. And I got so I was actually with someone, and he was psychic too. He only suppresses it. So as soon as she said mud bricks, like half a second later, he says, do you know the story about the mud bricks? And what was really interesting is yin and yang. She told me one side of the story, and then he told me the other side of the story. So the side of the story that I'm going to tell you is the side that I remember, but the side of the story that he was told, that popped into his head, he's a channeler, he just does not know it. His side is, there's the yin and the yang. She said when they said they always respected the land, and they ate off the land, but they would only eat and slaughter for what they had to eat. And she said that when it came time to be winter, they would take these baskets. They're woven baskets. This was their economy, but they would take those baskets and they put a rope on them, and they would fill them with mudfish, and they would put them in their own kind of homemade dam. And during winter time, when they were hungry and they had to eat, they would pull up And I saw her do this. They would pull up the rope on their hand-woven baskets, and they would take the mudfish and they would slaughter them to eat. And she said that the Jesuits treated them like mudfish. Only it was not to eat, it was to take and to rape and to kill their women and their children and to enslave them, and they slaughtered. They slaughtered all their men, and they raped their children, and they enslaved the women and the children that were left, and they said that they were treated like mudfish, to be put into smaller and smaller woven baskets, and whenever they felt like it, whenever the white men, the Jesuits, felt like it, they would pull up the rope and take the fish however way they wanted. And if that meant killing them, or if that meant defiling them on their sacred land, that's what they did. So, Kaweah, I asked her what she wanted me to do. And she said she wanted me to release them. Because what happens is these people, these evil people, they'll go to sacred land and they'll defile it. And then when the spirit is kept there, they can harness that energy over and over and over. That's how these satanic rituals work. A lot of these, the bad Freemasons, they have been defiling sacred things for thousands and thousands of years on very potent points of energy, the meridians of the earth. And when the spirits are trapped there, like these Native American, like Kaweah and her spirits, all the children, all their spirits were trapped in between. And the evil people are harnessing that sacred spot to help do their power and their manifestations and their magic. So I released them, but she said that she's not going to leave until she has justice for the Jesuits and justice for her people. But she wanted to clarify. She said that we are all brothers and sisters, and this is not about Indian or white or black. She wants justice for the people, the children of the future. And she said I was going to be the one to provide that with many others. So that was one part of the... Okay. Sorry, there's a spirit over there. Like wide open. It's just looking at me. So the other part of the story, this is the positive part. This is the part that my friend got. He told me about the mudbricks and what the mudfish do. And I might get this story a little bit wrong. I only know my part of it. Is the mudfish would fertilize with their eggs into the into the riverbeds or dried riverbeds. And during like the winter or whatever, it was very desolate and dry. And I think they might like go into deep sleep, or they might be dead. However, whenever you think the desert is the most dry and the most desolate, when the water comes, it fertilizes the valley. We know water is healing. We know water brings life. And I do briefly remember Kaweah saying that portion of it, but what she wanted me to focus on was the slaughtering of the people. And I was the one to release them. And so she wants her story to be heard, and she wants the songs of her people to be heard. And it was the only time I could not grasp onto the song, but it was my first week of channeling. And I could barely grasp onto her name. I just kept saying Kaweah, Kaweah. And then she said, "Girl, it's the name of this place." We were at the Kaweah River. So she wants her story to be heard. And I thought, now that I'm at this ghost town and I've been thinking about her the last couple days, I thought it's the perfect time to release her spirit. So singing the song of her people. I still have to write that song, and I might go back to that place to see if she's still there. But and how you release these spirits and how you bring sacredness back to these special points as you sing. And you bring love back into what was been defiled. So, I don't know if I messed up the mud brick story. I only know what she told me. I didn't look it up. I don't even know what mud bricks are. I know it has something to do with the mudfish. And then there's fish. I have to go. The spirit over there is like bothering me so much. So, I hope you guys have a good day. I do. I love you.